Yeah, get to the elevator. It's a few minutes in. The elevator's pretty slick.
Yeah, that looks really good. I'm kind of thinking that or the Space Marines. Sorry.
SV1 cleared for arrival.
Is that it?
Yeah.
SV1, you are clear for departure. Initiating in 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Oh, wow.
You're riding aboard the Mark V Stellarator, the latest in space elevator design and technology. Today, you'll have a spectacular view of Florida and the eastern seaboard. Enjoy your ride.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's amazing what they can do. Hello, Jamie.
Supply chain disruptions, shortages, panic buying. Unfortunately, they've all become facts of life in 2021. The good news is you have preparewithmojo50.com. Not only will you find emergency food supplies, also water filtration, air filtration, all sorts of other tools. Preparewithmojo50.com. If you want to keep food on the table, if you just want to maintain some sense of normalcy, preparewithmojo50.com is the answer.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because
Oh, goodness.
I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org, m25m.org.
The point I worry about, and
Is there a point in here somewhere? I was kind of hoping we get to one sooner or later. But
It is Friday.
it's got. You told me I have to do
3, 2, 1, go. What's the point?
I have to have a conclusion at the end.
Good. Well, you're at the end, so
He gets so far down a rabbit hole.
we're waiting. Go. And 3, 2, 1, and information, go.
We start polarizing and isolating people, and I think it's happening with us.
At the end of the day, if you can't beat them, join them. Every dog has its day. Easy come, easy go. More of the
That's my story.
political rambling. Is rambling too generous? I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Just rambling is good. Yeah.
Okay, rambling.
Weekdays, 8 Eastern, Mojo 50. Radio as the founders intended. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
All right, buckle in. It's that time again. It is Friday morning, which means, of course, 2 more days till Monday. Bring on the hate. We can take it. Can't we, Ron?
Yes.
Alarm clock, ding dong, pants up, boots on, coffee, cigarette, full collar breakfast, hard hat, forklift, dragging through a swing shift, stacking up the boxes, watching that clock tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Need a little neon, get a little drink.
Friday can't come fast enough.
Right? Oh, yeah. Friday, it can't come fast enough. Here we are wishing our lives away. Another week in the history books. Bill Clinton's in the hospital with an STD.
Is that what it is?
No, it's not an
It is
STD.
some kind of infection.
Well, would it surprise you if it was?
No.
No, I think it's a urinary tract infection, and he has sepsis, which is
Really?
not good. Yeah, not good. So blood infection. So just another. And it did say he was getting visited by Hillary. So I don't know if it's good or bad. Let's see here. Shatner. What's wrong with this world? You can't do anything without somebody bitching, whining, and moaning about it. Prince, was it Harry or William?
Prince William.
William. What a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
What a total whiny bitch.
Stop sending people to space.
We have problems here on the ground.
We need to fix this Earth.
You know, what is this? What's he done? I mean, he was in the Royal Air Force, right?
Yeah.
Aside from his service to his country there, what's the guy do? He walk around, cut ribbons.
He's a mouthpiece.
Right.
That's really kind of what it boils down
That's
to.
it. So shut up. The royal family. Kiss a good man's ass. And truckers are disappearing too. Plus, there is, I don't think anybody's brought this up because I didn't even think about it till this morning. Where the hell is Mayor Pete?
Buttigieg?
Yeah. I mean, he's the Secretary of Transportation. What are we having a problem with right now?
Oh, yeah, transportation.
Right.
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be front and center and getting things done. But no, not at all. A friend of mine, Doug, sent this to me last night, and boy, is this little clip from the V for Vendetta from 2005. This is really terrifying. Listen to this.
Mr. Dascom, what we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink. I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion. I want every man, woman, and child to understand how close we are to chaos. I want everyone to remember why they need us. Right?
In the former United States, civil war continues to devastate the Midwest.
Scientists attribute this latest water shortage to the lack of rainfall the last 2 years. Ministry officials expect water coupon prices to rise.
Police have arrested 9 suspects.
Can you
believe
this
shit? Importing avian flu vaccines.
Outside the quarantine zone, a new airborne pathogen has killed 27 people.
Authorities have uncovered new evidence linking the terrorist organization called V to the St. Mary's viral attack on London 14 years ago.
Does that not reflect exactly what's going on right now?
Almost exactly, yeah.
And in the movie, that, of course, is the fascist dictator who's in charge and is remind everybody how much they need us, the government.
Correct.
So, listening to the president's speech yesterday, did you listen to the 5 minutes?
Nope.
It was 5 minutes. You don't listen to it.
I haven't listened to any of his speeches.
I do it so you don't have to.
Thank you.
It is 5 minutes and 49 seconds of fascism. I'm sorry. This was what blows me away. Is this guy is doing everything that they accused Trump of doing. He gets, and I will say this: if you were triggered by President Donald Trump, and every time you heard him speak, you freaked out, it did something to your nervous system, I empathize with you. I understand. I can't condone, but I understand it. Because when this guy talks, when Biden talks, it has that, I have a physical reaction to it because he's such a dick.
Yep.
This guy he talks down to the American people like when he was explaining supply chains yesterday. You've heard a lot about supply chains. Well, that's where it's like, You're going to define what the supply chain is and how it works? I not sure that is the job of the president, but, hey, what do I know? So yesterday he gets out there and he starts, laying down the law as he usually does with the vaccine because, we just haven't done enough.
I've just been briefed by my COVID-19 team on the progress we're making on our fight against the virus. Today, I want to provide a brief update on my plan that announced in early September to accelerate the path out of this pandemic.
By the way, and I do this because I love you. I sped it up. I sped it up to 1.25.
He's talking way too fast for.
Would you like to hear? All right, fine. This is normal.
No.
I know you bitched about it.
It's working. We're making progress. Yeah. Nationally, daily cases are down 47%.
I'm going to speed it back up. I can't take it.
Okay.
Yeah, but you need to hear what this guy says because This is the classic setup with a speech. This is you give the little pray. Hey, things are going great. Look, we got this new and blah blah blah, and you're yay. And that's where he starts coming down on the American people. You stupid unclean swine. All right, here he is at 1.25 speed.
Hospitalizations are down 38% over the past 6 weeks. Over the past 2 weeks, most of the country has improved as well. Case rates are declining in 39 states, and hospital rates are declining in 38 states.
Hospital
We're
rates.
down to 66 million.
Hold on, hospital rates are down?
That's what he said.
So we're going to get, we're paying less at hospitals?
I doubt it.
That's what he meant hospitalization rates, but he said hospital rates. But I'm nitpicking.
There's still an unacceptably high number of unvaccinated people from almost 100 million in July. That's important. It's important progress. But now's not the time to let up. We have a lot more to do. We're in a very critical period as we work to turn the corner on COVID-19. First, we have to do more to vaccinate the 66 million unvaccinated people in America.
Like what? We have to do more to vaccinate the unvaccinated people. Okay, pretty sure that unless you've been hiding in stasis or space sleep for the past, 2 years?
Space sleep.
You know that there is a vaccine. You know it's free, and you know that they say it's safe and blah, blah, blah. Do you think there's anybody outside of that tribe, wherever they are, that speaks like them? Aside from them, do you think there's anybody who doesn't know there's a vaccine?
No.
I don't think so either. I think everyone on the face of this planet, and probably some interstellar travelers, are aware there's a vaccine and they want everybody to get it. But so he's, talking down to us again.
Essential. The vaccine requirements that we started rolling out in the summer are working. They're working.
If they're working, how come they're not working? Asking for a friend.
The Labor Department is going to soon be issuing an emergency rule for companies with 100 or more employees to implement vaccination requirements among their workforce. Every day, we see more businesses implementing vaccination requirements, and the mounting data shows that they work.
Is that so? The mounting, because what was the company that after they let go of the people who weren't vaccinated, their vaccination rate went up to like 98%.
Yeah.
Wasn't that amazing? I mean, it was just like overnight. It went from whatever it was, 70% to 98% because you got rid of the people who weren't vaccinated. Genius. So yeah, it's work. Data shows it's working. Of course, people are getting either laid off, fired, or they're quitting their job. But economic slowdown, schmodown.
Businesses and organizations that are implementing requirements are seeing their vaccination rates rise. By an average of 20% or more, to well over 90%.
Right.
The number of employees vaccinated.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Vaccination requirements should not be another issue that divides us.
You think? I can't believe those words just came out of his mouth.
That's why we continue to battle the misinformation that's out there. And companies and communities are stepping up as well to combat the misinformation. Southwest Airlines, at the head of the pilots union and its CEO, dismissed critics who claim vaccination mandates contributed to flight disruptions.
They want that one.
Anything you say is not going to change that there, JB.
They so badly don't want you to believe the pilots went on strike, basically.
Correct.
They so badly want you to believe that, no, it was weather. And I think the plane, the Southwest plane you saw with the Gadsden flag, I think that flag was just flying through the air and the plane hit it and it stuck to the window. I think it was just a coincidence. I mean, this is just beyond. Do people? Well, yeah, that's a stupid question, Brad. Don't even ask it. There are some people who actually do believe it. So,
school board members, religious leaders, and doctors across the country are fighting misinformation and educating people about the importance of vaccines.
Notice he said the importance of vaccines. Well, yes, vaccines are important. They want to paint everybody as this anti-vaxxer. And I'm sorry. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Are you?
Nope.
Most people I know who are opposed to this.
No, some of my best friends have gotten the vaccine. I'm not like unfriending them because they got the vaccine. I don't give a damn.
Hey, this is to paint people who haven't been vaccinated as anti-vaxxers is just it's evil. But then that's who these people are.
All of these efforts are going to help us continue moving the dial to eliminate this disease.
Hold on, whoa. To eliminate this disease, that's a lie. We're never going to eliminate this disease. You can't. Tigers are catching this. They've inoculated. Where was the zoo that the tiger got? He got the vaccine. And he still caught it. You can't eliminate this disease. It's not going to happen because it has animal reservoirs. So, I mean, was that just a misspeak, or did he really mean to say that? Did he? I mean, this guy just reads what's on the prompter, so who knows?
Second, we're going to continue protecting the vaccinated. This week, the Food and Drug...
All right. We're going to continue to protect the vaccinated.
And what exactly did that mean? What does he mean by that?
I don't know. Let's just stop and think about that. We're going to continue to protect the vaccinated. I mean, we're going to continue to protect the vaccinated. Because if you're vaccinated, you're I mean, what? I thought that's what the vaccine was for. You get the vaccine to protect yourself. All right, let's find out. Let's find out what's behind door number 2.
Drug Administration and the FDA is reviewing data on Moderna and Johnson & Johnson boosters. We expect a final decision from the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control and
So wait a second. It's the booster narrative. We're going to continue to protect the vaccinated with the booster shots, which again, if the vaccine works, why do you need a booster in like 6 months? Did you need a booster with the polio vaccine?
But we do have vaccines that require boosters, but not like in 6 months.
Right. Even tetanus, what is it, 5 years? Lockjaw?
Yeah.
So, again, this is, and suddenly we're just taking this as, okay, well, yeah, 6-month booster. All right, 6-month booster. Well, we just don't, we don't have the long-term data. No shit, Sherlock, you don't have the long-term data. This is the part that gets me is how, I mean, the bottom line is it hasn't been studied long enough. And you want to get the vaccine? That's great. I support you 100%. I'm 100% for you getting the vaccine if you want it. Absolutely. Pro-vaccine for you if you want it. If you don't want it, don't get it. I mean, why is that a controversial stance?
Prevention, the CDC, in the next couple of weeks. If they authorize the boosters, which will be strictly made based on the science, that decision will be based on the science.
Based on the science. Strictly made based on the science. Is that why the FDA had a couple people quit because they didn't agree with the boosters, but the CDC did? So wait a minute. Do we have a bunch of science deniers at the FDA now?
Probably.
I guess that's what's happening. Well.
This will mean all 3 vaccines will be available for boosters. Already, more than 1 out of 3 eligible seniors have gotten their 3rd shot, booster.
Great.
And we're going to continue to provide that additional protection to seniors and others as we head into the holidays.
Ah, good.
These boosters are free.
Yeah.
Say it again. They're free.
They're free.
Available and convenient to get.
Convenient.
Third point I'd like to make.
Yeah.
We need to continue to keep our schools and our students safe.
Safe.
96%
You mean like the girl in Loudoun County who was raped in the bathroom? Safe like her? Oh, different kind. Sorry. Different kind of safe.
Different kind of safe. Are fully open with children back in the classroom and for in-person learning. We have been able to do this because we provided our schools the resources they need to protect children and the educators.
You mean like the girl in the bathroom in Loudoun County that, oh, sorry, different kind of safe.
As well as the staff that works in the schools. We've been encouraging schools to implement important health measures like masking, testing, and getting everyone vaccinated who is eligible to be vaccinated. Now, I know parents out there are anxiously waiting for a vaccine for children 5 to 11.
Which is really, I mean, yeah. And strangely, like I said, one of my doctors, one of my many doctors, she's ready to, have her, she has a 9-year-old daughter, and she's already, boom, she's going to have her daughter vaccinated. Great, all right, fine. It's strange, though, that the consequences of getting this for the younger kids is not, I mean, it's just, it's like the flu. They're not,
the flu, yeah.
It's not as dire.
The good news is the FDA and outside experts from the CDC are set to make its determination as to whether the vaccine will be authorized for that age range in the next few weeks.
Okay, why isn't it? I asked this question before. Remember, they were waiting on FDA approval for the vaccine, like the Pfizer, whatever. Why don't they just go ahead and make the vaccine? Why don't they just make it available to kids? What are they waiting for, in other words?
Honestly, I don't know. Was it down to 12 or 15 years old?
Yeah.
You couldn't take it?
I think so. So, I mean, what is magically going to change between now and 2-3 weeks from now that they'll say, all right, it's approved? Are they waiting on a test study? Are they waiting? What's going to change in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, there's no telling.
So, and let's go back to the beginning when they were doing the control groups with one of the vaccines. I can't remember which one it was, but they ditched the control group before the end of the study. And they did it so that in their words, so the control group would have access to the vaccine. It was that important. So, all right, why is it, if it's that important, why are we just go ahead and today say it's approved for kids? What are they waiting on? That's a legit question. I would like to know. I mean, isn't that a fair question?
Sounds like a reasonably fair question.
What are we waiting on? Let's just do it.
If authorized, we are ready. We have purchased enough vaccines for all children between the ages of 5 and 11 in the United States. And it'll be convenient for parents to get their children vaccinated at trusted locations.
They're big on this convenient thing, aren't they? They're huge on the convenient thing. Hey, we'll come to your door. Well, I mean, which they did. Well, do they really think that that's what it is? That people, it is inconvenient? I don't know. Why don't they mail them? Why don't they just mail you a self-vaccination kit? I mean, you can find a YouTube video on how to stick it in your arm, right? Can't be that hard.
I think they let you, well, I think it's the prescription aspect of it. You can't shoot yourself with penicillin, but you can shoot yourself with B12.
Right.
Right.
Well, this is a vaccine that there's, I mean,
but can you overdose on the vaccine? If there's an opportunity for you to overdose, that's why they won't give it to you.
Has anyone ever overdosed on a vaccine?
I don't know.
Not either. Interesting question.
And families will be able to sleep easier at night, knowing their kids are protected as well.
All right.
Let me close with this.
Close with this.
The plan I laid out in September is working.
If it's working,
is it?
Why isn't it working? Asking for a friend.
We're headed in the right direction. We have critical work to do, but we can't let up now.
We can't let up now. Can't do it. Cannot let up now. Do not let up now. Which, by the way, this is just so you get an idea that this sort of thing is not unique to this here country. I think this is Australia. Was it Queensland? This is one of their fearless leaders over there in Australia. Listen.
To leave a really key message today, and that is do not let your guard down. Today there has been some easing of restrictions after we passed that 6 million jab number, but it's way too early for any of us to get complacent, and we are concerned that an unexpected event, a super spreader event, can suddenly have a major setback.
Notice how they're all saying this? No time to let your guard down. Be on the lookout. Watch out. There's super spreader underneath every rock. It's starting to sound like they're all reading from the same playbook.
How long will we have super spreaders? I mean, do we know? I mean, what the percentage of the population is that has not been infected with COVID-19 ever?
No, I don't know that we do. That's another good question.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then they won't know that, I don't guess, unless they can do an antibodies check. But antibodies doesn't last forever. That's the thing. That's why you had to get the flu vaccine every year.
Which was a great song, by the way. Antibodies doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are people who believe that they've had COVID-19 early in the pandemic.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I've had it.
I think I may have had it. I had something for 48 hours, and if the...
Shit, I had something for a month.
Did you get rid of that other thing?
Yeah, I got rid of that.
Okay, all right, good. Well, just...
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Sorry, I apologize. We can just edit that part out. And there's more to this, too, because you thought it was going to stop with one booster. No. We'll get to that in a second. If the day that they discover, and this is probably, next month, they'll find out coffee is a deterrent to COVID. I mean, would you be surprised if they did?
Nope.
So we're not saying it is, but we're not saying it isn't. So when you go to American Pride Roasters, you might be doing something good for your health. I don't know. Just tossing that out there. It's not been approved to diagnose, cure, treat, prevent, or anything else with any disease, condition, or feeling among human beings. But one never knows because there's so much about science we don't know. And coffee could be un milagro. So when you go to American Pride Roasters, choose which miracle you'd like. Whether it's the Silent Cal, not Cal as in our Cal, but Calvin Coolidge. There's a big difference. The off-track blend, and that's the surprise. Surprise! You just don't know what you're going to get. Even my brown bag, which is, you know what you're going to get every time with my brown bag. I think that's safe to say. American Pride Roasters, it is the best coffee that, and again, we don't know what it cures. It may not cure anything, but damn, you'll have a good time drinking it just to see if it in fact does. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today to join this here program. And if you are listening to the podcast, well, you'll just have to enjoy the others' participation. Polio is back in the news as well, and more on that coming up.
Happily promoting the 4 Fs.
Clear.
What'd you call me?
Clear. What'd you call me?
It is so dark in here.
It is dark in there.
It's dark in here. Well, they started coming in and
Did you take
tearing
lights
out walls.
Yeah, because all I can see is a silhouette of you from my angle.
But I look good, don't I? In a silhouette.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jamie's drinking her off-track blend. Who was that?
Donna.
Oh. They sounded professional. I'm like, wait. The Hills.
To the people of this country. The need right now is a clear message to the people. Mr. Dascom.
Shellback has had my brown bag, and he knows. It's American Pride.
American Pride Roasters
AmericanPrideRoasters.com. The Daily Mojo.
Just in case you thought you were getting any of this for free, I want to remind you that we do ask that you stop by at some point, mojo50.com. Take a look at the apparel we have, including this fine Let's Go Brandon t-shirt.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, hashtag FJB on the front, and the very subtle Mojo. So subtle I can't find it. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Mojo50.com on the sleeve. Damn, that's pretty subtle. You can get one of these for, what are they, like $20, something like that? Same as downtown.
Same as downtown.
Also, on the front page of Mojo50, you will find the 2021 Christmas ornament, and that is yours for a donation of $25 or more. Let's say they made...
and we've got several going out pretty
good.
soon. I just did a bunch of them yesterday. Yeah.
And so let's say someone donated 50. Do they get 2?
If they want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it would be smarter probably to... Well, you'll figure it out. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
And then, are you going to? When we talk about Ramika, you've got. Are those Joe Biden ornaments going to be?
They're not up yet, but they will be for sale. Okay. And the ones that I showed yesterday, and the F flake,
right,
will likely be in. I'm probably going to have to just create a new section of Romika Designs.
Right. Yeah.
That's like. Adult humor, something.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. I will say this: the F-bomb is
age authorization before they
go.
Are
you kidding? If you spend some time with grade schoolers, they probably say it more than we do. The F-bomb is becoming more socially acceptable. I don't know if it's good or bad, but
it is. It's just become it's become a part of a lot of people's.
And we could have the discussion on the F-bomb all you want, but. So anyway, get the Christmas ornament, and also, if you wouldn't mind telling a few people about the podcast and rating and reviewing it and subscribing to it and all that other good stuff. Ron, do you have a link tree?
I do have one, Brad.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So do people search for Linktree Real Ron Phillips? Is that
yep,
what they
that's it.
So you can search for Linktree.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot on there right now.
Well, but what is there is vital. Think of it that way. So
correct.
You can search for Linktree Real Brad Staggs, and you will find links to just about everything. If you missed the beginning of the program, this was a clip of V for Vendetta, and it applies to all of us right now.
What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink. I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion. I want every man, woman, and child to understand how close we are to chaos. I want everyone to remember why they need us.
I'm telling you. And again, in the movie V for Vendetta, it's the conservative fascist president or the high chancellor who's trying to spreading this message.
Right.
Again, the not being a political scholar, not really caring for politics at all, quite frankly. All of these years, when people would call, for instance, I had a neighbor in Nashville who was kind of a dick, and he was conservative. And another friend of mine who, in looking back, they were very liberal, and they would call this guy, my neighbor, a fascist. I'm like, I didn't really understand. I was like, okay, I don't get it. Now I get it. The left calls the right fascist, but that's not true at all. I mean, Donald Trump was not a fascist, but what Joe Biden is doing is fascist. And it makes you shake your head. It's like, wait a minute, everything they accuse Trump of doing, Biden is doing.
Yes, I started to say they accused Trump of doing it, and he didn't do it.
Right.
But Biden
is doing it.
Yeah.
It really is. That's why it just gets. I get confused easily because I'm not that smart. It's that 20-point IQ dilemma. So they're basically following the script from V is for Vendetta. They're trying to make all of us so terrified that we're just going to spontaneously combust. And by the way, when we do that, it's going to be the unvaxxed fault. That's what they're trying to get across. So you have in Australia, which I love that Buck Sexton refers to Australia now as East Berlin. It really is. This is just going to play you the audio here. Australia, and this is from YouTube. Here's the title of the clip. Australian police make very aggressive arrest of man for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, they tackled his ass.
Yes. You don't even need to see it. You're going to hear, this is a guy being arrested for not wearing a mask. I mean, that's got to tell you something. That's crazy.
What would happen in this country if that was to take place?
I think it's happened. I think that's the problem. I think things like this have. Look at the school board meetings. Stuff like this may not be about a mask, but stuff like this is happening here. Now, in this country, you're being investigated if you go to a school board meeting and complain. Right here in Dallas, the South Lake teacher. And I don't have the full story on that, but it's if they're going to teach about the Holocaust, they have to teach about an opposing view. It's like, wait, what? Everything is ass backwards and upside down. It's really, really bizarre. This is tyranny. This is what we're seeing on a daily basis. And tyranny in, and I'll get to the polio vaccine here in just a second because that'll blow you away. With January 6th, what they call the rioters. Yesterday, a judge who was an Obama appointee, Tanya Chutkan, she was appointed by Obama in 2014. She sentenced two guys. Let's see, their names are, they're two cousins who breached the Capitol and took selfies while doing so. They were charged, I think, trespassing and picketing. I think so. They got 45 days in jail. Do you know what the prosecutors asked for? 30.
Really?
The judge gave an additional 15. And to quote the judge, there have to be consequences for participating in an attempted violent overthrow of the government beyond sitting at home. What? You can't argue with people who believe that the events of January 6th were in fact an insurrection. I try to discuss it or argue with them. You're not going to win. I mean, it's like banging your head against the wall.
You've heard of or the updates on Steve Bannon, correct?
What's the latest?
Well, yesterday he was supposed to testify,
right?
Or he had been subpoenaed to testify,
right?
And of course, he didn't show up,
right?
Yeah, and
is there a warrant out for him now?
I don't think there's a warrant, but they are going to try to hold him in criminal contempt for not showing up.
Right.
But he had a letter from his attorney the day before, said, "We're not coming. You can't force me to come up there and talk to you."
It's a congressional inquiry.
And criminal contempt is something that will, I mean, even if they're going to do, the problem is they've got to get done before the election, before the 2022 election.
Right. The midterm.
But criminal contempt can take 2 or 3 years to convict somebody on.
Right. It's all political theater.
It all is.
And people on the right in Washington and the left both do it. It's it's that ruling class, the elite up there, and they are going to continue to do this.
And I don't think anybody's taken the January 6th commission. There's no Republicans on it that I know of.
We've seen it. No, I didn't. Mittens, isn't he on it? There are a couple of rhinos, but Andrew McCabe has he was the guy that was the FBI director. Yep. Trump fired him.
Yep.
Well, he settled a lawsuit with the Justice Department, and he gets his pension back. So we're now going to be paying him like $200,000 in back pay, and we're also going to be paying for his lawyer's fees, which are about $540,000. So good for us. This is tyranny. This is tyranny. It's what we're seeing on a day-to-day basis. But, and again, like I said, try to argue with any of these meatheads, you don't win. And so what do? I don't know. But I think we'll find out sooner or later. Beaver73, hashtag what I learned today says, violent overthrow? Are you kidding me? Walking into a building, staying between the velvet ropes is horribly dangerous. That was the amazing thing, is you had these images of people walking in and staying between the stanchions. It's like, this is the worst insurrection in the history of insurrections. And then the FBI, admits that they've got plants in there. That story came and went real quickly. It's the whole thing is horseshit.
The whole thing is horseshit, but you got to understand that there were a lot of people in that entered the Capitol building with no ill intention of doing anything in the Capitol building, period. Right. But you had the idiots that did.
Yep.
But everybody's paying the price for the idiots. That's the problem that we've got. Because that building is a building that you can enter. If you were invited in, then you can enter the damn building.
Right,
but
which we saw the Capitol Police.
The breaking of the glass,
right.
The damaging, the doors, the whatever the case may be. Those things should not have happened, period. However, it was not an insurrection. These people weren't there to take over the government.
Of course not.
They were there to prevent something occurring. And they just weren't going to stand for the fact that this, this vote was happening.
Right. They do these audits.
They're arresting people who were outside the Capitol building who just happened to be there.
Yeah, it's and I'm looking at Bob Blah Blah.
Love the Bob Blah Blah.
He tweeted, the villains in V for Vendetta sound more like progressive leftist fascists than anything else to me. And it's fascism is, again, I get confused because I'm not a political wonk, and I shouldn't say I get confused. It's just you've got this it's almost circular from the conservative side to the fascist side. And then you got the anarchists in there. And I was talking with Doc one day about this, and he was explaining all of it. And it's like, it almost goes in a circle, the arc of little government, small government, and anarchy, which is over just past small government, all the way over to cradle to grave stuff. So, and then everything in between. And we are so, it's off the charts with these different groups, all fighting for what seem to be different things. Antifa, I guess they're anarchists. I mean, they say they're anti-fascist, but they are fighting for the left, which is appearing a whole lot more fascist than anything else, so they're not really anti-fascist, right? Yeah. It gives me a headache. It's like, how about just don't be a dick? How about that?
People don't understand those words, Brad.
People
don't understand the words "don't be a dick."
Apparently not.
I'm telling you, if you ever want to see the dredges of society, go look at the subreddit public freakouts.
Right.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. These are not. This is like way worse than the people of Walmart kind of thing, right?
Right.
Because those are just pictures, but these are videos. And it's like the definition of the term Karen or Richard or whatever you want to call them. But these people are literally crazy.
It certainly seems that way.
And it's the dredges of society.
But it's not politically correct to call them crazy.
Oh, no, it's crazy. They're crazy as shit.
No, I agree with you. They're using the system against us is what's happening. And again, I don't know if with 330 million plus people in this country, I don't know if this whole thing works. I don't know if the system we have works. May not. It might, but it might not.
Huh.
The polio thing, and this is an article from November 25th, 2019, ABC News. More polio cases now caused by vaccine than by wild virus. And that's in 4 African countries. 4 African countries have reported new cases of polio linked to the oral vaccine as global health numbers show there are now more children being paralyzed by viruses originating in vaccines than in the wild. In a report late last week, WHO and partners noted 9 new polio cases, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, yeah, vaccines are supposed to be good. But here you have the World Health Organization and polio, which, we've, I guess, eradicated in this country. There are always going to be problems with vaccines like this, and yet we keep being told with this new vaccine, hey, there's no problem. Except we keep seeing these problems. Except the heart conditions. And told you about a friend of mine, 27, gets the vaccine. Suddenly heart problems. Nothing to see here. And he also knows that when he goes to the doctor, the first thing they're going to, if it's a doctor that's pro-vaccine, this is not connected to the vaccine. Yes. So the people who don't want to, and he got it because he wanted to be able to, he bought into if we're going to get back to normal, we have to, get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And it's been very effective. That whole campaign, there are enough people who will just sit there and listen to it. And I'm not dissing him for it. I'm just saying they've scared the crap out of people. And if you don't if you don't spend a lot of time looking for the truth, it's easy to buy into that crap because they scared the crap out of you. Up in Chicago, the police union chief there has urged the officers in Chicago to tell them to take a flying leap when it comes to the vaccine. The city's requirement is that they have to report their COVID-19 vaccination status by, I believe, today.
Yeah.
Under the mandate, all city employees must submit their vaccination status by the end of the work week. Unvaccinated workers who refuse to submit to semi-weekly testing will be placed on unpaid leave. And essentially he says, hey, he said, don't fill out the portal info. And also to file for exemptions. Good. Now, how they're going to spin this, I don't know. I mean, what do you do when the guy comes straight out and says that?
Everybody had a good weekend. This is a live update on the vaccine. So we posted information about a noon deadline to the city to respond to our latest correspondence. As many of you can guess, the city ignored that 12 o'clock deadline, didn't even respond. Go to hell.
Which is pretty much what all of our our great leaders are doing. They're just, kiss my ass and shut up and get vaccinated.
It's okay for them to do that, but we can't do it.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Follow the science, just like the president.
Shouldn't be a surprise. The reality is the city acknowledged from the beginning their obligation to bargain in good faith over this subject.
And, okay, that's the other thing. Like with the Postal Union, with Postal Pete. Hold on, I got to get Postal Pete's.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Well, he wanted his own sounder. He got it.
He's got his own sounder, all right.
You got it. That union is bargaining. It's like, okay, think about that for just a second. Think about, and I don't blame them for doing it by any stretch, but think about the absurdity. Everybody has to be vaccinated or we're all going to die.
Yep.
But we can.
But these people who are out and about around everybody else, they don't have to be vaccinated.
It makes no sense whatsoever. It's political. That's all it is. The whole damn thing is political at this point. And between them and the pilots. Oh, by the way, you want to know how you can tell that the pilots with Southwest really did stage a sick out?
How?
Go to Snopes. Snopes says there's no evidence Southwest pilots called out due to COVID-19 vaccine requirement. So they're labeling it false, which means, of course, it's true. That is one good thing that like PolitiFact and Snopes and the rest of these are good for. You really can find out if something's true or not, because if they say it's false, it's true 9 times out of 10. So because Snopes rated it false, I'm saying, yeah, it's true. It would be funny if it wasn't so damned scary. That's the problem. Where's the shoot? I'm going to find this TikTok. Did you? Who was it that was
the one I sent you yesterday?
No, not that one. It was it B from the SAV? Somebody tweeted it this morning, and it is hysterical. This guy gets 2 cell phones.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah,
with the Chinese.
it's in your thread.
2 Chinese restaurants. He puts them, but we'll get to that in a second. But first, a word or two about Romika Designs, which is if you don't know about Romika, you're obviously a communist. I don't think there's any 2 ways about that. So,
RomikaDesigns.com.
Yes.
That's where you can find us. We've got a selection of products and services out there, but you can, well, no services yet.
I was going to say, wait a second.
I can offer a service if anybody needs one.
Uh-huh.
I do a lot for a little bit. I do a lot for a little bit of money.
Uh-huh.
Just
yes, you
FYI. So the products that we can do out there. Now, we can create custom products, and that's where our specialty lies. But we do have some ornaments that we're going to be putting up. One of them is a little stick figure humping JB. We probably will put it in an adult section of the site. We don't know what we're going to do yet.
It's so good.
But I have some Christmas ornaments that are what I call my F flake or my my F flake ornament.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Fire truck flake, Fenoric flake ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
God, I have to be real careful.
Yeah, yes, you do.
And I've got like 30 different options of those that people can have. And in some of them, unless you stare at the snowflake, you can't really tell what it says.
Right.
You know what it says, but you can't really tell what it says.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got those. Those will be going up probably this weekend.
So when the grandmother comes over and says, "What is that snowflake?"
Oh, that is so pretty.
And she says, "What does that say?" I don't know. It says something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never noticed it said anything. What does it say, Grandma? And then make her say it.
We don't get in trouble for. We don't get fined on the website on the radio for showing a picture of it. So show the picture of the one I sent.
I can't because I don't have. They've taken away the monitor. That.
Oh, damn it!
I know, bastards.
Okay.
They came in here and they stripped me of a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel naked, quite frankly. They did leave me that. So, RomikaDesigns.com, and are the F-like ornaments, are they on the site? Are they on the Facebook page yet?
They are not on either yet.
Have
but
you
we are
tweeted
going
it?
to. Nope, I have not. I can tweet it. Here's the thing. I can't take orders for them right this second, so I want to be able to take orders for them as soon as I put it.
Wait a minute, you can't?
You could send me an email, but it might get lost in oblivion, and I don't want that to happen. So give me a day and let me get the stuff ready to go. I'll tweet out what it looks like. Hang on.
I think that's a good idea.
I'll tweet out what at least one of them looks like. How's that?
I think that's a fabulous idea. By the way, 11,344.
What's that?
That's how many unopened emails I have.
Oh, I got you.
In one of my accounts. All right, well, while you're tweeting that, this is the TikTok account Salzo Comedy. When you call 2 Chinese restaurants at the same time, and he's got each one on a cell phone, and they're talking to each other.
Hello? Yeah, how can I help you? Hello? Yeah, how can I help you? Is it Chinese restaurant? Yeah, how can I help you? Yeah. What? Yeah. What can I order? How can I help you? What do you mean? This Chinese restaurant, how can I help you, baby. You want to order or no? What you mean? This Chinese restaurant, I don't call you. You call me. No, I don't call you. No, I don't call you.
The Daily Mojo.
I was reading some instructions yesterday from a shower shelf that was installing, and it said, use the adhesive and hold it firmly against the wall so it no fall down.
So it no fall down. What the hell?
Well, you don't want it to fall down, do you? I no want it to fall down, so I held it up so it no fall down. I mean, that's what it said in the instructions. I'm not being ugly. It's just
not being ugly.
They just wrote it down. They just wrote it that way. By the way, if you're in the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. You can put your mind at ease.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who refuse the COVID-19 vaccine in the Navy, they have to get you have to get your second dose by November 14th to be in compliance with the mandate. Those who do not comply will go through a, quote, fair and consistent process with the CCDA. That would be the Consolidated Disposition Authority. COVID, I was saying, where's the extra C? COVID Consolidated Disposition Authority, the CCDA, to handle separation determinations, according to an administrative message released this week. Sailors refusing the vaccine will not be allowed to be promoted or advance, re-enlist, or execute orders except for a separation order until their case is handled by the CCDA. The administrative, according to this message, the commanding officers will be in charge of tracking which sailors refuse to comply with said mandate. Individuals who do not comply will begin facing administrative action the day of the deadline, unless they have a pending or approved exemption request. They could be subject to a general discharge under honorable conditions if they are only separated because of a failure to comply. This could still threaten some veteran benefits for those individuals, according to the Military Times. So thank you for your service. Shut up and get vaccinated. Why do you hate this country so much that you won't get vaccinated, you piece of scum? This is there are just absolutely no words for how contemptible this is. According to the TSA, 40% of their employees are unvaccinated. The TSA says 4 in 10 members of its workforce, including screeners, remain unvaccinated against COVID-19 as their deadline looms, which happens to be November 22nd, the Monday before Thanksgiving. Not saying plan early, but I would plan early if I were you, and also make alternative arrangements. In other words, I'd drive. So they've got 60% who've been vaccinated, and 40% who haven't. And in order to meet the deadline, the last possible date for receiving the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine is October 18th, which would be Monday.
Yep.
So if you don't see a bunch of TSA agents getting the first hit on Monday, guess what? Thanksgiving week is going to be Fnorked. Clear. Boy, that's going to be a disaster. Oh, yeah, that's right. Get this. It's not funny. Some Americans may be able to get 2 additional doses of mRNA vaccine, with the possibility of the primary series being expanded from 2 to 3 doses. So now, what do you... At what point do people go, what the actual
Fnork
is going on?
People have been asking that question for months.
Blah, blah, blah just said, it's official. How can help you is the word of the day.
Jen Psaki.
Pasake. Sepsis. There it is. There is that big, beautiful, bold Justin Bieber ornament.
Yeah, and the F flake is about 3.
Oh,
before.
there it is.
Yeah.
How beautiful. That is so beautiful. So beautiful.
Who was it that said yesterday when they were looking at this, why is Wi-Fi coming out of his butt?
That would be our director of global security. I think. Oh, good grief. Amazing how companies want employees to sacrifice even the smallest of individual rights. All of a sudden, everyone's standing up to them when they lose. Yes. They might rethink it. Datcom. Right. Was there? People, blah, blah, blah.
Keep my penis. Cat wants some black titty.
We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
I think blah, blah, blah.
The blah, blah, blah.
Has officially won this morning's tweet contest. He says, it's official. How can help you is the word of the day.
How can help you?
How can help you? If you are just joining the program, refer to the last bit played at the end of last hour. Now, if you're listening to the podcast, you would have already heard that because no one starts in the middle of the program. So for those of you who are mystified, that's where you'll find the answer. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $59,312.73. It's going to break 60 again today, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go. Prediction, I think it will go to 75 by the year end of the year. Have I already made a prediction this year? I don't remember if I did.
Yeah, I thought you said 80, but I wasn't
Did I?
sure.
All right, so 80. I'm sticking with it. This from the Epic Times. Some Americans may be able to get 2 additional doses of mRNA vaccines, with the possibility of the primary series being expanded from 2 to 3 doses. In other words, you had to get the 2 shots 3 or 4 weeks apart. Well, now it'll be it'll be 3 shots, 3-4 weeks apart, and then the booster in 6 months. Moderna has sought authorization for a 3rd dose or a booster for its COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA was discussing the emergency use application with its vaccine advisory panel. The FDA in August already cleared the Moderna booster, but only for certain people with weak immune systems. So it's going to be, fast forward future news, it's going to be the 7-dose course COVID-19 vaccine with a booster every 4 months for 7 years. And then somebody in the comment section said, and I have no idea if this is real. I haven't looked. I just saw this comment and thought it was fascinating because I've heard something about the animal trials before. They said there was an experiment done on cows, I think in Japan. By the 8th dose, 50% of the cows died. No idea if that's true or not. But I figure one of you will be smart enough to go look that up and let me know. Because I'm lazy. What? I am.
Look that up and let me know.
Look that up and let me know. The hate has been. Before we get to that, one more vaccine. At least a quarter of the NFL. Let's see. I think it's the NFL. Make doubly sure. Yeah. Oh, it's the EFL. I think it's the European Football Unit have said they will not get vaccinated. At least a quarter of them. So, oddly enough, it's going to be these unions who may put the kibosh on the fascist garbage, possibly. So moving on to William Shatner, the oldest man in space, as Gail King. How is this not old shaming? Listen to this is the conversation.
The interview, yeah.
Yeah, with Gail King. She gets away with it, what? Because she's black? So here she is, old shaming William Shatner.
Shatner, are you aware that you're 90 years old? Klaus in the studio said somebody forgot to tell you you're 90.
Gail,
Yes.
that's the other thing. I keep saying, what do you mean 90? I ride horses or whatever. I had to walk up that platform. I was exhausted. My muscles hurt from all this training. I'm aching. I'm in pain. And I'm up there and I'm saying, I am 90.
So he is 90. Oldest man in space.
Yeah.
And I told you yesterday, was that yesterday or the day before? Whenever the hell it was. When he got down, he was talking to Bezos, and I tweeted, I said, man, Bezos just cut him off in the middle of his emotional story. He just to get champagne. I thought that was weird.
Aaron Barker sitting in for Watson this morning had that conversation, and he was like, this guy, and what it was I'm sure that they had planned to do the champagne bottle thing. They did it on the first one, but these were new riders and
right.
And, people going up, and they had planned to do the champagne bottle thing, but freaking Shatner started waxing eloquent there, and Bezos wanted to listen to him, but he said,
I need the champagne
right in the middle of it. Hey, hand me one of those.
And then doesn't go back to Shatner and go, now tell me the rest of the story. Starts doing the.
He does, but then he turns around and comes back to it.
Well, you know what? It was a little too late at that point.
It was. He had already
George Takei, Takei rhymes with gay.
Oh, this guy.
George Takei has dissed, along with Prince Billy.
William.
Whatever. George Takei comes out and says he's boldly going where other people have gone before. Shut up.
George Takei, he just got to get himself in the news. I mean, look, the guy's, here's the thing. He said, number one, Shatner's too out of shape.
Yeah, he fat shamed him too.
He did.
Well, how come all of a sudden you can fat shame everybody and get away with it? What? Because he's gay, right?
My opinion, George Takei is pissed because he didn't get to go.
Yes. I met George Takei once. Not impressed.
He's kind of an ass, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. At least he was the day I met him. Maybe I just, you know what? That same thing happened with Olivia Newton-John and Lee Greenwood. Maybe it's me.
Huh.
Never
Lee
really
Greenwood's
thought
an
about
ass?
Yeah. He was when I interviewed
Olivia
him.
Newton-John's, I think.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I know. But again, I'm the only thing that's common to all three of those stories, so maybe it's me. So, yeah, he's boldly he said he's a guinea pig, 90-year-old guinea pig. And it's important to find out what happens. Now, Takei is 84. So, again, Takei can fat shame. He did. He kind of double-dosed. He fat and old shamed Shatner, but he gets a pass because he's gay. And then Gayle King can do it because she's black. If you some white guy had said that to some, what if I don't know, Whoopi? Well, yeah, right there, Whoopi Goldberg with Barbara Corcoran. Remember when Barbara Corcoran says, when you get done with those pants, you bring them to me, and I'm going to make 2 pairs, and Whoopi is as big as a horse now.
She is. She's kind of big.
She is.
That big tent she was wearing, that was not a flattering picture they took of her.
No, it wasn't.
I have Cal, by the way.
Do you? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, and this is kind of a special moment, but I want to continue with Shatner and Takei for just a second, Cal. So hold your damned horses, which is ironic. But Shatner comes out with, and he's been saying this, I guess, for a long time because Takei has been just dragging him, throwing shade on him for years. And, Shatner's out there.
In the last 50 years, the man has blackened my reputation. I pride myself on being a professional actor. I'm there on time. I know my words. I'm amenable to almost anything because.
Does his voice sound like it has echo on it?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
What's important is making the performance and nothing else. I don't have to be there for the of a spaceship being brought out. One of the things he has against me, I wasn't at the debut of the Enterprise in some place. I was working. So he has demeaned me really badly, ugly. Every so often I'd get in touch with him and say, what are you doing? I don't know you. What did I do to you?
What the hell's your problem?
I have no idea what his beef is. I have no idea who he is or what he is or what he wants.
And that's the weird thing is that because you think, well, how can you not know Ensign Sulu? He was the helmsman on your ship for 5 years. And then your other missions too. How can you not know the guy?
Yeah, he probably just doesn't know him personally.
He worked underneath you. You were in command of him.
Not really.
What? Captain what? Wasn't Sulu underneath Captain Kirk?
Yeah, in the show.
Well, but that wasn't real?
Oh my God.
That wasn't real?
No, it was not. As evidenced by the fact that he'd never been to space before 2 days ago.
And I thought this is the funniest joke that William Shatner has ever heard and ever told.
I love horses. So I got a great horse joke for you. Tommy Lasorda's having a problem with his Dodgers. He's losing everything. He's losing his shirt. He's losing his mind. He's desperate. He needs another player. Agent comes up to him and says, I got a great player for you. He says, who is it? He says, it's a horse. A horse? What am I going to do with a horse? He says, put him in the lineup. What do you got to lose? The professor says, you're right. Puts the horse in the lineup, places him at third base. Ground ball is hit to the horse scoops up the ball, throws it to first base. Guy's out. Fantastic. Sort of tries him at second base. Ball is hit to the horse, double play, zip, zip, zip. Incredible. And sort of can't believe it. Puts him at first base, the horse leaps up, catches the ball, puts a man out. Tries him in the outfield. A ball is hit to the horse. Hard and high. It's a sure home run. The horse leaps up in the air, catches the ball. Lasorda is ecstatic. Puts him into the batting lineup. First time up at bat, the horse looks at the pitcher. Pitcher looks at the horse. Pitcher throws the ball. A horse winds up, swings, hits the ball further than any ball has ever been hit before. And Lasorda yells, what are you doing? The horse is just standing there at the home plate. He says, what are you doing? Run, run! Horse looks at Lasorda. He says, if I could run, I'd be at Hialeah.
The Daily Mojo. Mojo.
See? Wasn't that funny?
That was the dumbest joke I've ever heard.
You know why?
Why?
Because nobody knows what Hialeah is anymore.
I guess.
Hialeah was a horse racing park in Florida, which is funny because now jokes like that with a punch, because I was doing the same thing. I was going, this is going to be a great punchline. And when he said it, it was like, wait, what's that? And I had to go look it up. Hialeah is a horse racing track in Florida, which apparently doesn't even really race horses anymore. So,
hi there, boys and girls. Can you say podcast?
No.
I knew you could. This week, there is another exciting episode of Cal's Podcast of the Week. Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Cal. Did you like William
Hey
Shatner?
there,
Did you like William
guys.
Shatner's joke?
I was cracking up.
Wasn't
Cracking up,
it?
man.
Hialeah. I mean, who doesn't love a good joke that ends with a punchline, Hialeah?
Yeah, but you get the gist. He's talking about a horse and all this, and if he infers that he would be able, if he could run, he could win at Hialeah. I don't know what Hialeah is, but I could tell that it's some sort of horse race thing, so it still makes sense.
Yeah,
Unless
but you
you're a
didn't
moron.
laugh at it. You didn't laugh at it. I didn't know what the hell it was. It was like, Hialeah, what the... And it was like, oh, man.
I didn't I didn't laugh, but it wasn't because of Hialeah. It's just that it wasn't that funny, you know.
But if it had
The
been
joke itself.
1984 when he told the joke, it would have been,
Yeah.
I get it. It would have been funny. But not
I
so
don't know
much
about that.
anymore. All right, well, you tell us a joke. Tell us your favorite joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I called in today and gave you a podcast of the week?
Hey-o.
God, it was almost like you guys had planned that. but
Right?
not
Isn't
quite.
that good? Isn't that good? So,
I'm
all
always
right.
ready with a knock knock. I've got a 4-year-old that loves them, so I'm always ready with a knock.
Oh, I've got a really good one too. Go ahead and start.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I don't know. What's your joke? If you're the one who's going to knock knock.
That's the joke.
All right.
It's too early in the morning to be an ass.
Yes, it is. So, all right. What's our listening assignment for this weekend?
This podcast is about people that are batshit crazy, so it's right up your alley, Brad.
Wow.
You're gonna love this. Okay?
My ex-wives?
It's a pod. Your ex-wives, my current wife. I don't think any spouse out there really, but this one's called Over My Dead Body. They just dropped their 3rd season, and what this show focuses on, it's kind of like a small story that kind of sounds like nothing that ends up exploding into something batshit crazy. So their 1st season kind of focused on a really simple death. This couple, there was somebody died, and as they dug into it, you find out that this couple had a crazy background that involved murder and lawyers and money and high-priced hookers, and it just kind of goes deeper and deeper. Season 2 is Joe Exotic. We all know the Tiger King story.
Yes.
Again, you just look at that on the surface, it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then you dig deep and you find this guy's just batshit crazy. And the 3rd season they just dropped. It starts off with a small town in Illinois called Fox Lake, a really popular police officer. You know, these small towns, like everybody knows everybody, and like the local sheriff was like a war veteran and considered a police hero. He gets killed, and it obviously makes big news in the town. But as they start digging into this guy's background, you find out that this local hero is not exactly the nice guy that you thought he was. There's corruption, there's murder, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that ends up opening up the case about this guy. So there are these stories, like I said, that start off small and then become like, what the hell? So it's really fun to listen to.
I'm familiar
It's
with
called
that.
Over My Dead Body.
That's a good one. I like the name of it. It reminds me of the Hulu show Only Murders in the Building.
You know, I saw a couple of trailers. That's with Steve Martin and Martin Short, right?
And Selena.
I was
Selena Gomez.
thinking
Selena
about
Gomez.
checking that out.
Yes.
Is it worth my time?
Yes. It's very good. I mean, it's no Over My Dead Body podcast, but it's good. And I did not mean to draw attention away from your limelight. I apologize. So this is the anthology. It gets 4.5 out of 5 stars with 25,000 ratings.
If you are a cat listen, you will know the producer called Wondery. They make really good podcasts. They did like Dr. Death, and they did now I'm drawing a brain fart, but they do a lot
That
of
other
really
good
good
one.
podcasts.
They did that other good one. Yes, that great
other
one.
good one.
Right, and then
A lot
that
of
other one.
their shows are really well done. Just to suffice it to say, you won't be disappointed on this one. Oh, they did that one about Alex Rodriguez. They did. They actually did one on specifically on Tiger King, like about Joe Exotic as well, breaking that down.
The speaking of Joe Exotic, aren't they doing another follow-up to Tiger King? Yeah, I think they are.
They've talked.
I mean, the
about
guy's still in prison, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he think that there was for a while there was rumors that Trump was going to pardon him before he left?
He should have. I think
Just as a last jab, but
I think he should have. I
Joe
mean,
Exotic's crazy as the day is long.
well, yeah, but I mean, come on. She got away with killing her ex.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of speculation there, but no actual proof, right? And remind me why Joe Exotic got put in jail because he put a hit out on her.
Yeah, well,
and the guy
yes.
was supposed to that hired him, the guy that was that he hired to kill her,
Turned on
basically flipped on him, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And they had all this evidence that he basically, paid him and had it all ready to go, right?
I don't know how much evidence there was, but would you be surprised if Carol Baskin had paid the hitman more to not kill her and then to put poor Joe Exotic in jail? I mean,
well, she was definitely batshit crazy too, no
Yes.
doubt about that.
That's 'cause she
And
killed her
if I
ex-husband.
recall correctly, the guy who he hired was another guy that into big cats, and he was trying to or he bought the Joe's big cat sanctuary or whatever. Anyway, there was some conflict of interest there. Like if Joe were to go away, this guy would get a lot as well.
I don't think there was one person in that show that wasn't nuts.
Yeah,
because they were all pretty damn crazy. And then the other dude, the one that was the zookeeper, and he really he was actually kind of likable. He looked like a meth head, but he was pretty likable because he liked the tigers, and he just died here a few weeks ago. They found him dead in his apartment.
Oh, he was
in
the
New
one
York.
that was kind of like that was taking care of them, right? That
Right.
actually fed
Yeah.
the animals and
Yeah.
took care, he actually cared for the animals.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
And he's
And
dead.
you say he looked like a meth. All those people look like meth.
Yes, they did.
Every single person.
There was.
None of those people that came on and talked during that documentary made me think that's a stable human being right there.
Right. I mean, and because the only reason they had all that footage was because Joe Exotic had hired these crews to document
crew.
his life.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's a bunch of narcissists, but it was entertaining, and I don't know.
Oh God, yes.
Do you really think Joe Exotic is dangerous?
I don't know.
I think
The
he's
dude
crazy,
carried
and crazy people can be dangerous. So
he carried a gun, dude. That lunatic.
He did.
Well, he's not going to be able to
He
have a
did.
gun
And
now.
I
It's
remember
against
they would
the law.
show they would show footage of him doing his show, his his public access show, and he'd have a dummy next to him, and he'd just pull out a gun and shoot the dummy in the face just because he'd be like,
so
"Here
do
you go,
I."
Carol Baskin," and he'd shoot it right in the face, on not live or recorded television or whatever, and everybody's just hanging around, and this guy's just pulling out a massive gun and just shoots in the face out of nowhere.
Well, it
Just
doesn't
to make a point.
necessarily suggest he's crazy.
That doesn't
He's
tell
just,
me that person is
he's
safe
eccentric
to be around.
He's just eccentric.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the way you have to look at it. But I think there's going to be a new. I think there's a new one coming out that I just saw Carol Baskin's name pop up somewhere, and let's see, she teams up with Joe Exotic's new niece or his niece for a new series. Oh, that's what it is. She is now teamed up with his niece for a new series after turning down Tiger King 2. So she will be on some other.
After turning down Tiger King.
Yeah, she's gotten too big. She's not going to be in Tiger King 2. So there you have it. It's a spin-off.
Shucks.
It's a spin-off, and she will be telling, it's called Carol Baskin's Cage Fight. There you go. So.
You know what? The most sobering thing that keeps me up at night is that just how many crazy people are just out amongst us.
Yes.
Just walking around, just like really certifiable. And many of them are governing us or
Yes.
are in positions of power.
That's
which
the
really just makes you just not want to leave the house.
Somewhere out there is a little girl right now whose mother is a stripper, her dad is a meth head, and her grandfather is the president of the United States.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it's true.
Pretty accurate.
All right, so are you? Let's see. Hang on a second. I'll see if it's worth anything.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin. We were told Tiger King is a documentary about the abuse of wild animals. It turned out to be a reality TV show at best. I've been going after animal exploiters for decades. Joe Exotic is one of them, and he's in jail. I want to go on to bringing down the next bad guy. We have an investigator to help us make sense of the things that we're finding.
They're going to do whatever it takes to protect their product.
We are going to catch you. What are they doing that we can document?
Names, phone numbers, sales receipts.
That is a huge operation.
These people are known to be violent. This is about animal protection.
You're abusing big cats? I'm coming for you.
And there you go. That is the trailer for Carol Baskin's Cage Fight. So
if you're abusing big cats,
we're coming for you.
Yep.
You dirty little whore. All right, Cal, you be careful out there. Get them before they get you.
You as well, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
See you, Cal.
All right, so again, I've just tweeted out the podcast. Tiger Queen Black. Oh, Squatching Duck had another good. He had a good tweet. They should have featured Carol Baskin and called it Tiger Queen Black Widow. Because, see, she killed her ex-husband there. Let's see, the Night You Say Nee. I hate to correct you, Real Brad Staggs, but I think the title is That Bitch Carol Baskin Cage Fight. Quite likely. And, F in Florida Man says, has Cal or Real Ron Phillips seen Midnight Mass yet? We should do a...
I have not seen it, yeah.
We'll do you know what? We'll do how about we do a Netflix and chill? I mean, I hadn't planned on it this morning, but, that's a positive way to go out.
It is?
Isn't it?
If you've watched anything.
If you've watched it. But see, you, Ron, all you do is work now.
I don't.
You don't.
I very rarely watch it.
You
I
work
think I finally
hard.
got through the first episode of, the hell is the name of that thing?
Exactly.
Squid
You don't
Game.
even know.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't even seen... Oh, all right. We'll do that and more coming up on your Daily Mojo when it comes back after this.
Clear. I think I got through episode 2.
Of Squid Game?
Yeah. Episode 2, I think, is where they leave and then end up going back.
If I could run, I'd be at Hialeah.
Yeah. That's like that other stupid-ass joke. The aristocrats thing.
Which,
What is the aristocrats joke?
What is the aristocrats joke?
Is a
Aristocrats?
taboo-defying off-color joke that has been told by numerous stand-up comedians since the vaudeville era.
What is it?
Let's see. What is the joke? Let's see. Traditional format. Let's see. The punchline. Okay. History and print. Traditional. Let's see. A family or a representative, usually the male head of household, goes in to see a talent agent about booking their act. The agent asks what their act consists of. If the whole family is present, the act is performed for the agent. Otherwise, it is described. Blah, blah, blah. The goal is to significantly transgress social norms.
This is a joke?
No. I'm reading. The joke was told many times on TV, and I'm trying to think of what the text of the joke is.
I don't know, but it's fascinating the way you're describing it. Funny? Laugh? Thought I'd die.
Gilbert Gottfried does it on YouTube. It's a funny, dirty joke, they call it.
My explanation better. All right.
709-4395. The Daily Mojo.
Bitcoin is now at $59,750.
There you go. About to bust through it again.
It's going to bust through 60. I believe it's Portland, it's in Seattle, same thing. The Benjamin Franklin Day Elementary School has canceled its upcoming Halloween parade because it marginalizes students of color who administrators claim do not celebrate the holiday. The school is in Seattle's Fremont neighborhood. They decided to cancel it, all the activities, including the pumpkin parade, because of student equity. Black males, they say, do not celebrate Halloween. And more generally, students of color feel marginalized. In a newsletter, the school also said the loud noise levels in crowds can be triggering to some kids. Halloween events create a situation where some students must be excluded for their beliefs, financial status, or life experience. Costume parties often become an uncomfortable event for many children, and they distract students and staff from learning. Large events create changes in schedules with loud noise levels and crowds. Some students experience overstimulation, while others must deal with complex feelings of exclusion. It's uncomfortable and upsetting for kids. As a school with foundational beliefs around equity for our students and families, we are moving away from our traditional pumpkin parade event and requesting that students do not come to school in costume, according to the newsletter. So there you have it. They are... I mean, seriously, what is going on?
What kind of world are our kids going to have?
It's going to suck.
It's going to be a world where everybody's feelings are the determining factor as to whether they... I don't know, dude.
And yet, Gayle King can sit there and call William Shatner fat, and George Takei, who was gay, can come out and call him fat and old.
Yeah.
Actually, she called him old, not fat.
Yeah.
Same thing. Former cheerleaders of the Washington football team are traumatized. This, of course, goes back to John Gruden. They're traumatized. She was a 4-year Washington cheerleader, Melanie Coburn. She was the squad's marketing director for 10 years. She said to NPR that because of a scandal several years ago in which they were photographed and are videotaped wearing only bikini bottoms, and said photos were circulated amongst not only the apparently team members, but also amongst the NFL. Some apparently without bikini bottoms.
Yeah.
So they are the alleged inappropriate photos derived from a past swimsuit photo shoot where Washington football team staffers were reportedly told to take behind-the-scenes footage of cheerleaders while changing and moving around. I find this heinous.
Do you?
Disgusted. I'm also unable to find said photographs on the interweb. According to the Washington Post, they first reported the story back in 2020. The content allegedly included bare nipples and pubic areas of cheerleaders in a 10-minute video that was reportedly shared with the owner, Daniel Snyder. See what this all of this stuff, this goes back to the them trying to pressure Snyder to change the name of the team. That's what this is. This is all about the woke crap.
Maybe.
This is about not they didn't want him to be the Redskins, so they were putting pressure on him back then even and pressuring the sponsors, and that time Gruden was with ESPN, And they were, I would imagine, I haven't seen the emails, but I'm guessing because of what they've said the emails that Gruden sent were about, it was all this woke crap. You know, they want to change the name of the Redskins. They go women officials on the field. They want, the gay players. I don't give a crap what or who you sleep with. Just throw the damn football and catch the football and tackle. And then when you take the uniform off and you go home, do whatever the hell it is you want. I don't give a shit. Play football when you're here to play football. Well, how did the game of football get lost in the game of football? It really is
a good question, actually.
So that's what this is all about. This is and they just happened to come across the Gruden emails, and all this is tied in. And these cheerleaders, who the hell was, when they're changing, did they not happen to notice, hey, there's a dude over there with a video camera, or a dude over there with his phone? I'm trying to see if this is 2012 or so, because it would have been not the high def stuff we've got now, right?
Mm.
Where the phones.
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
Yes, they may have been.
Yeah, but it would still be.
So, did they not know, or they? I mean, I know that NFL cheerleaders are known to be very, reserved, shy, and private individuals, aren't they?
No.
Usually, no. I don't know. So this is all. This is all the woke. The whole woke thing on steroids. It's the insanity of the world in which we live. All right, you want to do Netflix and chill and just forget all about.
We can do it.
Let's just do it. Let's do it.
Assume the position.
It is Netflix and Chill, brought to you by PrepareWithMojo50.com. That is PrepareWithMojo50.com. And that's where you'll get your emergency food supply to cover your butt when all the fit hits the shan and empty
And it
shelves,
will.
Joe. Yes,
That's
it is gonna. The story didn't even get to about the lack of truckers in the United States and elsewhere. And where the hell is Pete Buttigieg? He's the transportation secretary. But
I haven't seen Pete in a long time. Pete.
I haven't seen Pete quite a while myself. All right, so real quickly, and this relates to Netflix and Chill because Robert Durst, who was the subject of the HBO documentary series The Jinx, and if you haven't seen that, it's a good.
The Jinx.
It's a great documentary, and it's also. Who did it was made into a drama, and I want to say it was Kirsten Dunst in the movie with Robert. Anyway, he's been found guilty of killing Susan Berman back in 2000, and he will be in jail for the rest of his life. He is 78 years old, so the rest of his life is not going to be all that.
Not going to be all.
No, but he will certainly enjoy it, I'm sure. All right, so. All right, you go first there, Mr. You're not seeing.
I've not watched a lot of TV. I mean, I'm on like the second episode of Squid Game.
What do you think? What do you think of it?
So far it's still a little weird. It's not the normal TV show kind of thing.
Spoiler alert! It doesn't get unweird. It's really good. Yeah, and I would not have.
What makes it really good though? I mean.
Well, you got to get into it. You're only 2 episodes in. And
I heard that you had to get past the second episode and then things.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of just had it on and was watching. I don't know. I was probably 3 episodes in. And when Skip was here, he says, oh, man, he says, I've watched every episode. He said, you'll love it. I'm like, really? Because I'm just kind of, And watched a couple episodes when he was here. And I'm, okay. It does. It gets better as it goes along.
All right.
And if you go to YouTube and just look up Squid Game behind the scenes, it's really cool how they did a lot of it. But they're all kids games.
Yeah.
And the premise.
The episode I just watched was all of them having voted to end the games,
right,
are now deciding to come back.
Right.
And I think it ended the episode with them being picked up in the vans and
Right.
gassed again. So that's where I'm at.
And it has a twist at the end.
I'm sure it does.
Oh, it's got a really good twist. Really good twist. So it's worth watching.
I'm getting text messages. Squid Game is not good, and it does not get any better.
Whatevs.
All from that same area where you're at over there are the text messages coming.
There's a lot of stupid people live in this part of the country.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you watch Another Life, which was
nope.
but the first season of it was back in 2019. It was Katie Sackhoff on the ship with the crew. I'm pretty sure you did, because didn't we talk about it then, that it was this crew that was put together to go out and figure out why this ship was sent to Earth. And we talked about the fact that they found like eight of the most psychopathic people to put on a spaceship to send off into space together. Yeah. You don't remember that, Katie?
What's it called?
It's called Another Life, which sounds like a soap opera. Another Life. It's Katie Sackhoff.
I think I started that, Brad, because I remember Katie Sackhoff being in it.
And Justin Chatwin's in it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
And then every protected class that you can think of is on the ship. So like there's a, I don't know if they're transgender or just gender fluid, whatever. But
it's a series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, the second season just came out. And for whatever reason, because it really is, I mean, you can tear the thing apart. But for whatever reason, it's fascinating to watch. I like Katie Sackhoff. But, and what's her name is in it too? What the hell's her name? Chick that she's, the hell's her name? Selma Blair.
Selma Blair.
Yeah, that's it. So Selma Blair's in it, and it's Lisa Rinna's in it, Lisa Rinna, I think. Anyway, it's a good space. It's fun to make fun of because there's a lot of holes in the plot. And there's a great review of it on YouTube of a guy who says it is the worst series that Netflix has ever done.
What does Another Life get Rotten Tomatoes? The average tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes for Another Life, 6%. You're welcome.
See, I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes because it's owned by the film company.
Well, the average audience score is 71%.
Right. It's one of those that's it's so bad it's good because they have brain spiders in it. And there's a bunch of people in stasis. I guess they call it soma sleep or whatever. And it's almost as much fun to watch the guy who does the review of it on YouTube because he just points out all the inconsistencies. But for whatever reason, they must have subliminal messages in it that keep me watching it because it is, I don't know, it's entertaining. And sometimes, let's be honest, you don't want something you have to think about. You just want something on that you're like, and you just kind of, you don't really worry about keeping up with it. And, like Perry Mason on HBO, great show, but you kind of had to pay attention because there were, the nuances and things like that. In this, you don't really have to pay that close attention to it.
Actually, I thought I had seen this, but I didn't. It was just the trailer that I had seen.
Of Another Life?
Another Life. Yeah.
Okay. All right, since you don't do anything except work. The Movies That Made Us, there's a season 3 of that out now. And they cover Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Aliens, Coming to America, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Elf. And if you watched any of these, if you watched any of the Movies That Made Us?
Yeah, RoboCop specifically.
No, not the movie.
No,
but the
I think
show.
I watched a few of the first season's episodes.
And it's
back when we talked about it before.
Yeah, it's a story of how these movies got made, and in some cases, it's like a miracle that they did get made because they had no budget and the people were quitting and it was everything seems so glamorous after the fact, but getting the damn thing just filmed and in theaters was a giant pain in the ass. And that was kind of the way with Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street so far. And RoboCop.
That was filmed in Dallas.
Yeah, parts of it were. Then they went to Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, so the first RoboCop was filmed in Dallas.
Pennsylvania, sorry.
Yeah. The reason I say that is because the Detroit Police Department was actually
City Hall.
Was actually an old school in Dallas.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was City Hall in Dallas. But then there was the old school there was another office complex there. So the building I worked in Dallas for many years, it was a film set there too. The glass elevators that RoboCop gets in and then goes to the top of the floor to kill everybody.
Right.
Those glass elevators.
Spoiler alert
in my building.
Spoiler alert.
It was kind of cool to
Don't
know that.
tell everybody that
but
RoboCop killed people.
RoboCop was like 80, right?
It was in the 80s. Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. It's and the RoboCop, for whatever reason, a lot of these, like the RoboCop suit that they made was a lot like the shark from Jaws. It didn't work so well, and they had
to rebuild it. They had to redo it or recut it so he could move.
Yeah, it was kind of a disaster, and so they didn't even have the uniform, the outfit for him to wear. They were having to look through the script. What can we shoot that doesn't involve him in this outfit, and blah blah blah. So it's amazing how many of the things that we now look on as iconic. It's kind of like the Shatner mask in Friday the 13th for Michael Myers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That the guy goes down to the magic shop and finds he's looking for a mask, and grabs the Captain Kirk mask and goes back and modifies it, and that's how Michael Myers ended up looking like a weird Captain Kirk. And the whole reason that he really doesn't even move, and it's not a spoiler or anything, it's a stuntman who plays Michael Myers. And it was like, okay, here, we just need somebody to just put this on and go stand over there. And he's, all right, I'll stand over here. And the director's like, all right, now move your head to the right. And he's, why am I moving my head to the right? I'll do that. And he says, and then when I saw it on camera, he says, oh, I see what you're doing now. And then you're like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff that you just don't even think about being, like I said, iconic, just kind of happen on the spur of the moment. And all of the ones that they've done are really good. Let's see, what else? Squid Game. The Great Hack isn't bad. You. There's a new season of You. Well, look at that. There's a third. I didn't even know that. It just apparently must have hit today. So there's a new season of You on Netflix.
Okay.
And on Hulu, there are. That's not how you spell Hulu. I think there's a number of good things that are happening right now on Hulu. And one of them is.
Oh, I did watch something.
What'd you watch?
The Comey Rule. I told you about this.
And that was on Netflix?
That was on Netflix. Yeah, the Comey Rule. Jeff Daniels plays Comey.
Right.
And quite honestly, the guy who plays Trump, he does okay.
The makeup looks exaggerated to me.
It is, and his Trump is exaggerated, but I think that's the purpose of the show, right? It's I think it's 4 episodes, but they're like an hour long, and so it's just like an extended movie, but it basically walks you through, and they have every actor that was in that time era going through that, they have an actor playing them. So you've got Donald Trump Jr., you've got Andrew McCabe, you've got Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. All of these people are a part of this story, right? Because they were all a part of an actor in the story before. So it's kind of cool. It really makes Jim Comey look like he got railroaded. But that's what the intent was.
Right.
Right. But
See,
it was pretty good. Jeff Daniels, he plays a good Comey, but Jeff Daniels can be an asshole when he needs to be. Because wasn't Newsroom or News that he was in where he played the ass?
So it wasn't The Wire. No. Well, you're right.
No,
it was
it was like
you're right.
Newsroom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Anyhow.
you're right. He does. He does a good job
Jeff
at that.
Daniels is pretty good at it.
See, F in Florida Man says, should read A Nefarious Plot by Steve Deace. Filming begins on the movie next month. Really? I didn't know they were putting it in as a movie. That's cool. And the only reason that I didn't like the Comey thing.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like when I sit down, it's that whole, okay, I've been thinking about politics, and now I don't want to think about politics.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. That's maybe after there's some distance between.
Well, my question is
crap
always
storm
how
that
much
is now.
editorial or how much license did they take?
Right.
You know, how much creative license is in this versus what really happened?
Yes.
You know, and you're really only basing it off of Comey's written account. And look, you know, this movie came out, but if you go back and watch it now and you recall what was going on during that time,
mm-hmm.
if they portrayed these people in the way that they really are,
right,
that Lisa Page was a go-getter, dude. She was a mouthy little C.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's watching them in real time when it was happening. Like, Comey is a whack job. If you looked at his tweets, I mean, then the stuff that he was actually out there authoring, it was like, okay, they all were kind of wackadoodles. But again, it's people like you who then go watch the dramatized version of this, who come out thinking they're heroes, and you're effing up the country. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that to the party. Why don't you just march us all the way into socialism and then communism? What's wrong with you? See, that's why I don't watch the politics stuff.
Wow, dude. Yeah, that's really the only thing I've watched.
Have you seen Only Murders in the Building?
No,
On Hulu?
you talked about it before.
Oh,
but
it's
I
good.
haven't seen it yet.
All right, so that's really good. And La Brea.
I started. Remember, I told you I watched like half of the first episode.
Right.
I'm like, this is the corniest show.
I want it to be good. I really
and
do.
I'm sure
I want
because
it to
that
be
was the
good.
pilot. I'm sure it was because it was the pilot that it sucked. Because most pilots do suck. Because nobody has their legs under them yet. They don't know really what their
Hey,
character's
wait a
doing.
minute. The one character doesn't have one leg. Was
I
that
got
meant
that.
to get? Oh, wow.
No.
You are such an ableist.
That was not meant to do that. What's the lead actress's name?
Natalie Zaya? Z?
Is that who that is? Okay.
The wife.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
What
And
was
I
she
don't
in?
know
What
why.
else was she in?
I don't know. That's
You ever
what
seen her
I'm-
naked?
Natalie what?
Zaya. Z-E-A.
Z-E-A?
Right.
Yeah.
What's she been in? Because she looked familiar to me, too. And I'm like, I don't know where I've seen her.
Now, I've seen her in some stuff before. Let's see. Oh, she was in Justified. Duh. She was
there you
Winona.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, she was in one. Yeah, and the other guys. Like I said, I've seen her in stuff before, but yeah, I think the big place I had saw her was Justified.
I really want La Brea to be good because it's a great concept. They fall into a sinkhole in L.A. and they end up in L.A. 10,000 years ago. Now there are saber-toothed tigers, and my favorite so far has been the giant ground sloth.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. The
And
giant
he's like,
ground sloth.
he's like 20 feet tall. And all I can think of now is, the sloths from Zootopia at the DMV. And all I can think of was watching this giant ground sloth crawling around. You want to hear a joke?
No, we got to go. No joke.
Oh, wait. It's really, I don't know. I want it to be good, and it probably won't be. And this will piss me off because I'll watch like 4 episodes and then they'll cancel it.
Yep.
And I'll never know what the hell
Because it
happened.
sucks. It honestly reminded me with the first part of the episode of Lost. Remember?
I did that. I watched all of Lost.
Only to get to
To
the
get to the end and go, what the Fenork in the hell was that? So was it a dream? Did they go to church? What the? Oh, that was horrible. That was almost as bad as the Dexter ending. Now Dexter again is coming back next month,
so they're going to give him a new chance at it.
There's going to be a whole new season of Dexter on Showtime next month. Big Sky is another one on Hulu. If you haven't seen that, the first season was good. I don't know how they're going to keep it going with the second season. It's, but it's about a serial rapist / killer, and the guy who plays him is genuinely. I mean, he plays a good crazy. So, but they brought that back for a second season. So that ought to keep you busy. And
well, I'm waiting for the Orville to come back.
Oh, and Nine Perfect Strangers. Nine Perfect Strangers.
3.
Watch Nine Perfect Strangers. That's Nicole Kidman and a bunch of other people, and it's good. But then when's the Orville come back?
I don't know. Pretty soon. I know they've already shot it. So.
Well, aren't you something?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
I've got to go.
Oh, okay.
I've got to go.
What do you mean it's let's go?
We got to go. That's 2 hours you'll never get back, known as the Daily Mojo for Friday. Hey, it's payday.
The Ides of October.
For people who get paid. If you got a paycheck, this is a good day. If not, let's see if any of the lessons stuck with anybody here. Wade Robertson says, Real Brad Staggs, the giant ground sloth, didn't know Jeffy was in that show.
Oh, man.
I see what you did there. That's good. Effing Florida Man says, Real Ron Phillips, when he gets older at Doc Thompson show reunion, stand up, Chuck. Yes, that'll be, yes, I see exactly. You're right. Oh, bless your heart. This girl's cute, too, and she's only got one leg. She lost it, by the way, in a logging accident. Just so you know. Night 2 saying, me, Real Ron Phillips, don't get your colonoscopy at Starbucks. You'll get dehydrated.
True. That's true.
Is that why Howie Mandel fainted at Starbucks?
Because he was dehydrated?
Dehydrated from a colonoscopy.
No idea.
I mean, come on. How many times just last week has that happened to us? Seriously. Just real quick over here in the Facebook chat room. Leprechaun is over there. Justified was a most excellent series. Yes, it was. It was Deadwood in modern day. And Jamie says, love Big Sky. And she says the second season so far is good. Big Sky Hulu, blah, blah, blah. Happy weekend, yada, yada. Let's see here. Hammer says, have you ever seen anyone that cares? Is that a show, or is he just like, is that a troll?
I guess. Troll, maybe.
Sure, that's a good one, though. Have you ever seen I Don't Give a Shit?
No, I haven't seen it.
Hey, look, I got one of these in my pocket.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I've seen those before.
Oblivion Flickering. Any movie that portrays Jim Comey as a hero is a joke in the first place. Yeah, see, that's the kind, I don't know.
It doesn't really portray him as a hero.
Right.
It just portrays him as a guy who got
douche?
kind of railroaded.
Okay. You know, coming up over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations.
Are we doing this today?
Yes.
All right. Hello.
Is the encore presentation of Abnormal Realities. And today it is?
Yeah, we had a kind of off-the-rails show last night. We did talk about ghost stories and Williams Mills Tompkins.
Right.
Selected by extraterrestrials. Yep.
I love those. Your Daily Mojo, of course, made possible by Ron Phillips over there, spinning those dials radio style. Remember, the smallest minority on earth, the individual, those who deny individual rights and I claim to be defenders of minorities. 6 separate tyrannists resist stupid end. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are, have a good weekend.
Your bell count is next.
Clear.
I know, you got to go.
Yep, see ya.
You know what? Just go. Just go. Just go. By the way, tomorrow it is Leprechaun hosting the American F Radio program. Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Rock'em Sock'em Saturday Show.
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo for Friday, October 15th, 2021. Good Good job, boys. No missed innuendo bells today. 7 actual bells and a trio of rim shots. Peace out, stay healthy, and we'll talk to y'all in 2 days on Monday. Peace out, boys.
Exactly. Let's get used to talking like this. Our word of the day today, because everybody will think they're smarter when you blurt this one out.
Penumbral. Penumbral.
Anybody? Bueller? That's kind of like Ron. It's an adjective relating to or being a shadowy, indefinite, or marginal area. And that, my friends,
That is a wrap.
I'll be down here if you need me.